looking then was like, okay, that's going to be their punt returner.
Yep, at least that's what they hoped.
Right, that's what they tried to address this. Mm-hmm. Did you see or happen to notice the top kick returner on the depth chart?
Who is it, Debo?
Debo.
Okay.
So if it is Debo there, if that is actually the plan, and maybe it's Debo, maybe I don't know who else would be back there, Eckler, McNichols, something like that.
We've heard them discuss it is more of a running back thing. Debo plays receiver, but people know Debo has that ability to be more like a running back, right? I can understand them trying to do it with him. I think, in essence, if Jalen does his thing at the punt return position and begin to show he can still take that load of learning the receiver stuff, he may get that opportunity later too.
Eventually, we're going to have to figure out the inactives. Maybe we'll play that game Friday, especially as we get some more injury information. But if Debo's really your kick returner, I do wonder if McNichols or C-Rod or maybe even Bill can be inactive for week 1. I think for all the Bill hype, people are like, wait, now he's 4th on the depth chart? I would not read too much into that. Do you agree?
I agree totally. I'm not going to get into it with people. I'm going to let them think what they want to think, and I'm going to talk about stuff that makes a difference.
Your receivers listed, Terry is top of the depth chart, Noah Brown,
really?
And then Debo. Interestingly, because we know Kendrick Bourne was out here, as it currently stands, all 5 of these receivers are going to be active.
Yeah, more than likely.
They got no option. You know what I mean?
They got to go for it.
Now, if you get to 6, maybe one of those guys isn't active. Now, we've gotten kind of our first look at the defensive side of the ball as well. If this is a surprise, Ertz is also top of the depth chart at the tight end.
I can't believe that. Are you serious?
Yeah. Defensively, I would say there are 0 surprises. The only thing that's interesting with how they list this out, and I think this is more just a respect to the person and their football accomplishments, they list, you tell me, so Wise, Payne, Kinlaw, Armstrong. That is what I think we all expected, right? Because if you remember, the last depth chart we saw had Miller starting as the end, and then Payne, Kinlaw, Armstrong. Mm-hmm. So now they've listed this, Wise, Payne, Kinlaw, Armstrong, and then there's a separate OLB line where Von Miller's the only player on that line. Mm-hmm. He is the top outside linebacker.
Okay.
Then Wagner, Luvu. So I would not, the way they've currently listed their depth chart has 12 players on it. I think that is showing respect and deference to a future Hall of Famer in Von Miller. I think everybody understands his role is going to be a little bit different. Or perhaps they've petitioned the league and they get to play 12 on defense. Mm-hmm. What do you think it is, Brian?
They're not playing 12 on defense. They're not doing that for sure.
Right. So I don't think folks need to stress too much on that. The only real, and this isn't a surprise whatsoever, I would say, but to have day 1, week 1, Trey Amos is starting. At the cornerback position, it goes Lattimore, Amos, Samerstill, with Jonathan Jones and Noah I kind of as the backup there. And then they list, I don't think this really matters, especially because these guys, the strong and free it kind of isn't really how NFL defenses operate anymore. Mm-hmm. They have Will Harris listed as the starting strong safety, which tracks to me, and then Quan listed as the starting free safety. Interestingly, Reeves technically is the backup to Quan, not Harris. A lot of this is sub packages, and base defenses hardly exist in the NFL, and
too much to try to figure all that stuff out.
They're gonna play 3 safeties at times,
tons of
people. Interesting. I think if you're reading too much into it, I think honestly, what's cool, the first and the second round picks are slated to start week 1. That is development and drafting and how you want to build a program. To me, this does track that maybe if you're trying to figure out your inactives for Sunday, it's going to be some collection of 2 offensive linemen, probably. I would guess Paul and maybe Fant, because then you have options in the interior and the exterior with Trent Scott. I wonder Cahill and Medrano. They're going to have to figure that out. Probably 2 of the D linemen.
One of those 2 playing because they need some special teamers.
Well, and then I think Josh Johnson's inactive, assuming Mariota's good to go. That's going to be interesting. I wonder if Sennett or Yankoff are down. But to your point, you do need special teamers. So they've got some figuring out to do. And then the injury report will tell us a lot about that too. Because one thing we know about the NFL is there's always stuff going on that we are unaware of until they actually have to start writing it down. If you had to guess, the only, I guess, kind of question mark, and we won't get to see anything now because we're in regular season mode where we get to watch them stretch, basically.
Stretching, you didn't get the hell out of here.
Who do you think is the starting right guard on Sunday?
Starting right guard Sunday, I think it's going to be Wiley.
I do too. I won't be shocked if it's Allegretti. I'd be a little surprised. I think Wiley's been really good and really versatile for them. But they love Allegretti's a good player and a hard worker, and there's a lot to like there too. So I don't think we need to really read too much into that. It's going to be an interesting day. We got our new – this is a Landfill Classic B. Mitch and Finley AAA poll of the day. Landfill just put it out there like this, B. How much will the Commanders win by on Sunday?
Wow.
And your options are Commanders win, close game, Commanders blowout win, Giants win.
You went ahead like that, Landon?
I'm not sure that's how I would have listed that.
Damn, Landon.
The poll of the day is brought to you by AAA. Level up with the new AAA Commanders MVP membership. Get all the benefits.
Let's skip all the little mumbo jumbo. Let's go straight for the juggler.
Get all the benefits of AAA plus exclusive experiences, discounts, and tickets. Already a AAA member, upgrade for free or join today at AAA.com/Commanders. I think Landville, I think that AAA poll today is primarily based on the glizzy bet between Jeff and White Brian, and if somebody's going to have to eat a boatload of hot dogs. I am, gotta say, I'm fired up about the hot dog bet for Jeff and young Brian. Now, B, I had a tough night last night. How was your night?
It's good. It's cool.
So I was at Channel 4 for a while. Everything was cool. You know Derek from Channel 4. So Derek set up this fantasy league, and I said...
Crazy Derek?
Crazy Derek, yes. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. No problem. The draft was supposed to be last week. He moved the draft to last night. I have my college friends, a fantasy league I've been doing for 20 years. We had that draft last night. So now all of a sudden I have 2 drafts, both starting at 8:30 at night. Which
kind of how your life works anyway.
Dog, it was a disaster. And I'm a Yahoo man. I've done Yahoo Fantasy forever. I'm not against other places. That's just what I'm familiar with. You know what I'm saying? And my college league is hella intense. It's 14 teams, so it's very large. There's keepers in it. It's large rosters. It's funky scoring. Like my college, I'm not very good at zeroing in on one thing anyway. But,
Tell me.
But if I have to, my college fantasy draft is something I need to try to pay attention to. And so at the same time, I got Derek's league drafting on a different website that I've never done a draft on.
I think Derek knew it was your college draft to put it on this because he's trying to confuse you because you could lose on both of them.
He might have. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't put it past him. So I'm doing this draft. Derek also has. Usually you get a minute in between picks. Like I've never done anything where it's not a minute. Derek's league is 30 seconds in between picks.
Well, that make you focus.
Dog,
hyper-focus.
It is chaos.
It's crazy is what it is. I don't play that crap.
So my first pick and I'm not mad at this pick. I have the 5th overall pick. And I was going to take Jahmyr Gibbs, the Lions running back.
Somebody got him right before you.
No. Somehow my joint switched to auto draft, and I couldn't figure out how to switch it back.
So who you pick?
Justin Jefferson, who I'm not mad about, but I would have liked Gibbs instead.
Uh-huh.
I try to play it cool about that. Like, all right, I'm going to get the hang of it. Nobody on the planet should complain about Justin Jefferson in fantasy.
Yeah.
Draft goes on and on. This S just keeps switching back to auto draft.
Were they controlling your thing?
Maybe.
Did they set you up?
Yes. That's kind of what I think. So, B, we
kind of sound like something back in the day. Somebody set me up.
Yeah. We get to like the 6th or 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
And I have people I want to draft, and I'm clicking on it, and nothing's happening. Somehow I'm on auto pick again. And I can't get off it, and I can't figure it out. Meanwhile, my other draft is going on.
Question I want to ask you is, did you ask a question about why is this thing switching?
I finally called Derek.
And what did he say?
He's like, man, I got my draft. And he was sort of helpful, and then I kind of figured it out. But they proceeded to pick for me a kicker and a defense in like the 7th and 8th round. I would have never done that. I would always take those.
I thought you
at
were
the
picking
very
on
end.
Derek's draft, and he told you he got his own draft?
Derek's in the league, too.
But he won't help you out. Who set it up? He set it up, right?
He set it up.
So he should know the damn rules. He should know what's going on.
So, B, there's a little chat function in the draft. And I start, shocker, complaining. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I don't understand. How do I get off auto draft? Like, I'm trying to pick this player or that player, and I keep getting a defense. And Lauren Ricketts, friend of the program, she's in this league too. Lauren's a sweet woman. And she proceeds to dunk on me so hard. She just replies in the chat, oh, I'm sorry. I remember my first draft, too. And at that point, I just shut up. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you were complaining too damn much. Somebody got time to hear you all day.
All right, this is fantasy sports. Nobody is here to help. And whatever, we'll see.
You still in preseason. They trying to go through the regular season, dog.
We will see how it goes. I cut all my fantasies way back to only doing 2 leagues. Now I'm doing 3. I have a feeling it'll all go to hell, but you never know, B. You never know. One thing I could consider is just moving to a new city, just starting fresh, new friends, new fantasy leagues, all of it. And if I'm going to move, there's only one person I would call, and that's John Leahy.
Just like Javier and Alma, they wanted a new home, and they wanted something updated to help serve as a new beginning. But first, they needed to sell their Silver Spring property in order to buy. And while it was stressful, Dustin, a member of John Leahy's team with the Fine Living Group, showed them the strategy to execute both transactions at the same time and be hassle-free. Alma and Javier's home ended up selling for top dollar, almost $20,000 above the asking price. And thanks to the Fine Living Group, that's what enabled them to buy something both newer and bigger. Looking for your own stress-free transaction? How about a guaranteed offer on your home? Check out those details and more at johnsellsdmv.com. That's John without an H. John, we're talking about our good friend, John Leahy and the Fine Living Group of eXp Realty. John offers you flexible fees, customized to your needs.
And here's the thing. If you are thinking about selling, but you know, hey, man, we got to paint this house. We need new shutters, and maybe we need new appliances. Talk to John. If you don't feel like putting that cash up, talk to John. He can help you tee up your home for market by getting you up to $50,000 up front to make repairs and upgrades. Then when you sell your house, it'll be irresistible to buyers and get you more money on the back end. You settle up with John for the money he fronted you at closing. It's easy, keeps cash in your pocket, and makes you more cash when you sell the house. Stuff like that makes a huge difference, and that's where John Leahy and the Fine Living Group have the expertise. Call John today, 301-900-3052. Go online to johnsellsdmv.com, or what's even easier, just Google John Leahy Group and start packing.
This Sports Update is brought to you by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. The Los Angeles Clippers and owner Steve Ballmer are accused of paying star Kawhi Leonard $28 million for a no-show job as a way to circumvent the NBA salary cap, according to a report by Pablo Torre. Torre laid out the alleged scandal on his program, Pablo Torre Finds Out. The show, which features plenty of direct quotes from legal documents, made the argument that Leonard was paid $28 million through a company owned by Ballmer to essentially do nothing. Now, he is accused of using the agreement as a way to pay Kawhi Leonard more than his contract, which, if true, is in violation of the NBA rules. The Clippers have responded to those allegations by saying that this is completely false. The NBA has not issued a statement, though, on Torre's report at this time. 106.7 The Fan congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of turning car donations into supporting children. Cars for Kids has helped more than 100,000 kids nationwide. Donate your unused car today at carsforkids.org and join a million proud donors making a real difference. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
We don't need no water.
Let the
Burn. B. Mitch and Finley, 106.7 The Fan. Gearing up for week one. Excited.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting stuff. I mean, there's a game tomorrow night, B. Can't wait for that. All my fantasy drafts are in the jar now. We're off and running, man. Even if Derek tried to screw me.
Hopefully you lucked up on somebody that's going to just be a damn fantasy wizard this year.
We'll see. So I had two drafts last night. I ended up with Chris Rodriguez in one of them. In my other league, I ended up with Bill and Chris. In my other league, I ended up with Debo, Bill, and Chris Rodriguez. I actually, from a straight-up fantasy perspective, I'm very excited about what Debo can be this year. I think he's in a contract year, has a lot to prove. I think also just kind of his pride. Contracts are great, and people get caught up in contract years. I think Debo's a proud man, and I think last year in San Fran it really didn't go the way he wanted it to, and I think the weight conversation and the slow conversation, like he
was sick, man.
Yeah, but
And
totally.
he got behind.
I think the fact that he has publicly acknowledged it, to me means privately he's like, I'm going to show your ass.
Amen.
That's kind of the way I read that. I don't know. But fantasy's so hard to know. I did get the Chiefs defense in one league, your boy. I got Ertz in one league, so I didn't get Jaden at all, who I think from a fantasy perspective is just that guy.
So who's your quarterback? Better not be no rivals in the division. We fighting.
Well, I'm going to lose then. In my college league, I got C.J. Stroud, Texans. In Derek's league, I got Jalen Hurts. And I kind of thought Adam Tuss was going to take him because Tuss is a big loudmouth Eagles fan. But nope. Fantasy's a different ballgame, B. It's not.
No, it's not. Eventually, this year, you're going to be cheering for Jalen, and it's going to hurt us.
No,
I don't like it.
B.
I don't like it, Jay. I don't like it, bro.
I have Justin Fields in one league.
Hey, if y'all see JP out there, beat him up. He took Jalen Hurts.
It was on
the
auto
biggest
draft.
rival we have.
It was
in the
on
division.
auto draft.
He gonna pick their quarterback.
It was
So he
on
has
auto
to cheer
draft.
for him. When he does all ears up there, sitting there talking about how much he a Commanders fan, remember he picked Jalen Hurts.
Haters in the building. Now people are going to take you seriously.
I'm joking.
Good morning, everybody watching us in the chat. If you're on the 106.7 The Fan YouTube page, it's going to be exciting, man. Football is here. I cannot freaking wait. We will be at MGM National Harbor tomorrow night, Tap Sports Bar, for the opener, Eagles Cowboys. Come hang out. It's going to be fun. I know. I think a bunch of folks are coming.
Right.
Derek's coming. You can take up all your issues.
Well, you know
with him.
what? Derek got you. He set you up.
Derek set me up.
No, he didn't set up
Marion
me.
Barry.
You know why? Because I didn't participate.
Remember when we did a fantasy league the first year we did the show and
Yeah.
Landfill was in charge of your team?
Yeah.
I believe I won that league.
I think
for the record.
Landfill did just like I would have done. We started the season off with the same amount. We ended the season with the same people we started with. I don't care if they was on injury reserve or not. We just picked them, and that was it.
Our boy Neil Greenberg is going to join us coming up at 11. Landfill has a question for the 10:30 slot that I don't see at all, but I'll ask you the question, Brian. Do you feel everyone is doubting the Commanders this year?
I think a lot of people are because they're trying to act like they snuck up on people last year. And I can understand that mindset for the first 5 to 6 games. But they wasn't sneaking up on you in the last the 10, 11 games. You know what I mean? They came in and they had been knocking off people. They've been winning games late. They've been closing out strong as hell. People knew who they were. Jaden Daniels had made his introduction into the league after week 3. People knew this dude right here is cold-blooded. Now this year, I think people are looking at this is the fan. And you got to realize we have a lot of them in our fan base. When you don't go get the big names, they don't think you've done nothing. Last year, they doubted the Commanders. They questioned everything that Dan Quinn and them did. But then they show up and they go out there and they win. Now, this year, they don't go and get certain names, but they did get a lot of people in positions that they really, really needed people in. But they didn't get the ones they think they were supposed to get. So that's the people that are doubting. Now, let's be real.
They got some big names this year.
Not
Debo,
ne-
Tunsil.
Not necessarily as much big as some of them they thought they should have.
Yeah.
And let me break it down for you. Now, those are the fans that are going to sit back. They're not going to be very loud early. They sit back, and if things go wrong, see, I told you. But if everything go right, man, I knew we were going to be good. We got a lot of them. So the ultimate thing is you can just go out there. They got, like I keep saying, what I said earlier when you started the show, the guys on this team, the coaching staff on this team, have to just remember what they did to get them where they were last year. Not get concerned about the hype. You know what? Because like there gonna be people right here that'll be, hey man, yeah, you the greatest, you the greatest. Next week if you lose a game, they'll be pissed at you. You got to focus on the people that got this thing done. That's the nucleus, and that's the people in that damn locker room. Even us. I mean, we here every day. We are not supposed to be their mouthpiece, but if you like your home team, you kind of like you show favoritism in a sense.
Sure,
it naturally happens. It's a natural tendency. But ultimately, we're here to tell the truth about what we see. And they have to be concerned about what they know. Because as much as we know, we don't know everything. Because there's a lot of stuff that they keep close to the vest.
I totally agree with that. I think the level of continuity offensively, and I know Terry missed some time in training camp. It's our favorite. Yang was yelling at me yesterday on TV because I was going through like, all right, football's back, Jaden's back. Yeah, there was this little Terry thing, but it's over now. Mm-hmm. And she's like, little Terry thing? That's all we talked about for 2 months. So I understand the Terry thing was a factor this offseason, but I don't think it's going to be a factor on Sunday. Not to suggest.
Let's Jay hit you with this. You know what? When we see guys that hadn't been around for a long time, what do everybody say as soon as they come back? Fresh legs. Why we can't say that about here? Why can't we? It might be fresh legs, right? But if he's a guy who normally keeps himself in tip-top shape, his legs might be fresher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'll be honest. There was 1 year where I had to deal with something in the offseason. So I ended up getting elbow surgery. So I couldn't bend my arm, work out and stuff like that. I had my arm just straight. Couldn't do lift weights and all that. So I chilled, finally. And when I finally started to move around a little bit later, because I would never, the first year I took 3 months off. I came back, I was about 15, 20 pounds heavier. Never did that again. So this time I was out for about 2.5 months per se. But all I did is get on a stationary bike and rode. When I finally got out there, man, I felt so damn good. And I'm talking about after year 11. And I felt better than I had felt any time in the offseason because I did take time off. Normally, I never took time off. I take a week or so, like Darryl Green told me, take a week, get back to moving. And you'll never have to worry about your weight coming. You won't fluctuate as much. And I went right back to it. That time I had to, and I felt better than I did in a long time.
That's great. I wonder if I should do that. Take 1 week and then focus on my weight for the rest of the season. Football season, my weight starts fluctuating, dog. A lot of potato chips sitting on the beltway, just wondering what I'm doing with my life. I'm just so excited that football is here. I don't believe, like, NFL fandom and a lot of analysis becomes self-fulfilling prophecies, right? Like, people will say, like, oh, I'm not sure about the Commanders, so then if things go sideways, they can be like, oh, I told you. I will plant a flag. I think this team is good. Mm-hmm. I think Jaden Daniels is a different dude, and I think he continues to ascend in the league. Mm-hmm. I think offensively with Debo, that is another weapon to a team that has good weapons. I think defensively they've gotten bigger. That is an intentional result to try to slow down the run game. I think Dietrich Wise is going to be a major difference maker, setting the edge in run defense. Now, I will not get caught up in the nickel-dime semantics police of they went 12-5 last year, so if they go 11-6 this year, they regressed. Like, to me, it's about the product on the field, seeing how they look, and then what happens in January.
Totally.
Like that's where I've landed.
Totally.
So my flag is planted. If you want to be wishy-washy and be like, oh, they could be good or they could be bad, just so you can then, claim victory later, good for you. I'm not going to roll like that. I could also be wrong. I understand that, but I don't doubt my eyes. Like, I don't doubt the confidence that this team operates with, knowing what's coming ahead of them.
Last year when everybody was questioning things, what did the players on that team tell you about? What did Biotis say? Yeah, when you get in this job, what you worry about? I said, we got 5. They know that dude gives them a chance. Even the defensive players, this is what you do. Watch the sideline when Jaden's on the field and watch the defense. They are paying attention because they know. You look down too long, he might go do something spectacular. And they know all we got to do is get the ball back to him, and he gives us a chance.
Yeah.
And when you have that type of closer, everybody understands, I just handle my job. He can do the rest. I'm not saying he does it by himself, but when you put him in a situation where something spectacular could happen or something terrible will happen, 9.5 times out of 10, he's going to do the right thing. He's not going to mess it up. So just go out there and handle your business. And I think that's a great way of thinking about stuff. When I remember in 1991, I go back to 1991.
The team was
Everybody
good.
was like, listen, man, come in and handle your business, and the rest will take care of itself. And you know what happened? Everybody on that team, nobody wanted to be the SOB that did not do the right thing. So you came in, you worked a little harder, studied a little longer, looked at a little bit more film so you can do your damn job. And we knew all they had to do is turn around, give it to one of those running backs in the backfield, and those 5 guys up front will close this damn deal out for you.
Rising tide lifts all boats. Football is finally here, and if you decide to get in on the action this season, the American Gaming Association wants to remind listeners to have a game plan when it comes to betting. Bet with legal sportsbooks only, know the odds, stick to a budget, and lastly, keep your cool. The result of a bet is never an occasion to criticize an athlete or a coach online. Don't be that guy. Please go to haveagameplan.org to learn more. Brought to you by 106.7 The Fan's proud responsible gaming partner, the American Gaming Association.
LSU with a little more knowledge. Leader of the old, truly was a pilot. 55 games later, drafted second with the Heisman. He can run, he can pass, he is the total package. Man, we've been waiting for something that's electric. We can feel it in the air, something big is about to happen. Success is his mission, and the ladder he keep climbing. Jaden, the city we've been waiting for a QB that can lead us back to greatness. I swear we all been patient, and it's you that we got faith in. Let me tell you something about the city you about to play in. It's a loyal fan base, they reppin' hard all the time. Some of them are crazy, but it's fueled by the pride. Left hand up, welcome to the DMV. It's time to raise hell and take the NFC. It's a loyal fan base, they reppin' hard all the time. Some of them are crazy, but it's fueled by the pride. Left hand up, welcome to the DMV. It's time to raise hell and take the NFC. We about to get paid, y'all. For sure. Let's go. Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. Let's go.
Beavich and Finley 106.7 The Fan. This is interesting. Jeff just threw this in the chat, and I just saw this from Yahoo. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not particularly familiar with this, but a lot of people are. B, we talked earlier about, one thing that media has realized is people will pay to watch sports, right?
Hell yeah.
But young people, man, if you're under 30, if you're in college, they just rip these illegal streams all the time.
Because normally the illegal streams are so free.
Right.
And that's the problem with a lot of young people. They're always looking for free.
Well, they might be broke too, but
they're looking for free. Let's be real. That broke dude that looking for that free stream got on a pair of $100-something, $200-something Jordans or some other vintage damn shoe he bought or whatever. So my whole thing is, be careful. With the old saying, everything that's free ain't free.
So listen to this. Breaking news within the last hour, it seems. Stream East, the world's largest illegal sports streaming platform, has been shut down after a year-long investigation, per The Athletic. The network of 80 unauthorized domains generated 1.6 billion combined visits over the past year, providing free access to global sports fixtures such as the Premier League and Champions League, as well as the NFL, NBA, and MLB. So the soccer's probably driving a lot of this. It's my understanding this is like an Egyptian company or Egyptian website.
It's probably based in Egypt. That don't necessarily mean it's Egyptian.
Right.
But somebody from around the world that's probably say, oh, this is a good spot to set it up.
Well, I can't help but notice this illegal streaming website that's the biggest in the world. It's 2 days before the first NFL game of the year.
That he got busted.
I'm not saying that Champions League and EPL and all these soccer is not huge, and we know, hockey and basketball is coming up, and that's huge. But, they took this joint down 2 days before the NFL opens.
In the United States.
Yeah. And
says a lot.
And the NFL all of a sudden has gotten more and more streaming partners, right? Amazon, YouTube, Netflix, not to mention just NBC, CBS, Fox.
I understand how listen, it's all business and it's all money for the NFL, but I'll say this. Don't get caught up as a young person. Be careful. Because you mess around and get caught up with one of them services, and that's considered more of the white-collar crime. That's not like you. And if you get caught up with the wrong type of money and you get too big, the United States don't care about the fact that you was really gambling. They care about the fact that they didn't get their cut of it. That's what they care about. So you go to jail for that type of stuff, guess what? If it's 8 months, you're there for 8 months. If it's 2 years, you're there for 2 years. It's not like time served and you get a little part of that time, like most things are.
I don't think if I can, and let's all be sure we don't incriminate ourselves here. Let's hypothetically talk about this, Jeff. if you hypothetically had any familiarity with this website, I don't think the end user, I don't think the person watching it gets in trouble. I think it's the people like hosting these domains and like putting this all together that could face some real trouble. Jeff, is that right?
Okay,
If
I'm
you're
not.
gambling,
I'm not going to
This
lie,
isn't
JP.
gambling. This is just watching.
I'm not going to lie, JP. I've never used that because someone told me to use it, and it was so many pop-ups. I said, "This is going to kill my computer. I'm good. I'll go somewhere and watch it." It doesn't affect me. Like I said, I never was a fan of that because everything popped up so much. I was always scared somebody was going to like hack my information or something.
well, see, what I'm saying is the young person that you say could be possibly broke that wants this free streaming thing. You know what they do? Streaming parties.
And that-
What happened at the streaming party? Gambling. So, and if it's a young enough person, he also has some underage drinking, right?
So
And so they look for all those. Everything comes together. It's not always the first thing is not the thing that normally gets you. It's everything you do around the first thing.
Greg Martinez on the YouTube chat, I think this is smart. He said, Napster, LimeWire, Pirate Bay, StreamEast, it will never end and a new one will appear today. I kind of agree with that, but I just think eventually, like, the technology is going to outpace the ability to steal it. Like, I think people share passwords on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever. I'm guessing they know. And if they wanted to shut that down, they could. And, like,
It won't. It won't outpace it, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to go back to when I first moved up here to Virginia from Louisiana, and I found out that radar detectors were illegal. You know who the same company that made the radar detector, you know what they made also? The radar detector. And as soon as that one was able to be detected, they built another radar that was not detectable. Only for about 3 months later that they had one that could detect that. It's just a constant flow. And the people that makes it, they make the stuff that go against.
Sure.
Then they went to the new thing.
It's like the steroids. Like, they can never keep up with the new steroid because they're tested for the old steroid.
Well, yeah.
Like the cycling.
And the people that made the old steroids are making the new ones.
Right.
And then what happened then, they said, well, you know what? The police officer said, well, we're not going to use radar. We're going to use laser. So you know what the company made? A laser diffuser. Where you could program your speed and you could be going faster.
All right.
I did it. Listen, it's always somebody that's a step ahead.
Sure. So we've been very clear that whoever's I don't illegally stream games. I'm a sucker and pay for the products, right?
Well, I mean, I just go to places where they got 700 games.
Sure. But we've all been clear that like nobody should really like advertise that they do illegally stream games.
Yeah.
Couldn't help but just notice this tweet from our favorite guy, Ryan the Stallion Clary. It says, breaking, StreamEast has been shut down, to which Stallion quote tweeted and said, this is a disaster. Way to let him know what you're up to, Stallion. Great job, pal. Neil Greenberg joins us next.
On the shot clock, break the defense, soon boy I can't be stopped. All about my money, so you know know I'm hitting bank shots. I'm trying to tell them, boy, you can't guard this. Beast on the court, homeboy, I play the hardest. Jump shot stupid, yeah, it's retarded. You can't guard me in the paint, I'm an artist. See, I hustle on the flow, call me Rick Ross. See the truth, get it jumping like a tip-off. I play hard till I hit a rep, blow the whistle. I'm a player, but my game be so official. Never reach, gotta stay out of foul trouble. But I drive in the lane, get them in foul trouble. They can't solve my game, I'm a hard puzzle. But I keep 3 downs, that's a triple double.
Where we like to do the dance. Flex to the left, throw some money out your hands. Do it for the city and we do it for the fans. The ball like wow, boy, you gotta do the dance. Everybody do the John, wow, John, wow, John, wow, John, wow, John, wow, John, wow, John, wow.
Sick with it, hustle for the rock, I go get it. I'm in it to win it, now when I'm baby, we represent it. And I don't ball hard, we got a whole team in it. See, you just dribble, but ain't never got the heart to finish. Can't put me out the game, I'm in that thing from start to finish. And if I can't drive the lane, then best believe I'm about to dish it. Sideline drifting, now I'm gliding down the baseline. About to do a baseline, catch me on them inches. Coming from the south side, the expectations of us is that we will not rise. Yet still we prove them wrong, we flexing cause we hot guys. Green light to the game, we will not die. Yeah, sit tall, yeah, you call that the Great Wall. All I do is ball, I get up, I can take a fall. I'm hungry for the top, call it lunchtime. Game winning shots, yeah, it's clutch time.
City where we like to do the dance. Flex to the left, throw some money out your hands. Do it for the city and we do it for the fans. The ball like wow, boy, you gotta do the dance. Everybody do the John, wow.
Just days ahead of the season opener, New York Jets right guard Elijah Vera-Tucker suffered a significant arm injury that could require surgery. Vera-Tucker was injured in practice on Tuesday and is seeking a second opinion, according to Adam Schefter. The Jets had no comment on Wednesday as they had no practice or media availability. This is a familiar pattern for Vera-Tucker, who's missed extended times in 2 of his last 4 seasons due to injuries. The Jets were counting on him to be perhaps their best overall lineman, and for him it's a tough blow because he's in the final year of his rookie contract. And some more sports news: an 18-game NFL season that once seemed inevitable is no longer a certainty. David White, the interim executive director of the NFL Players Association, told the AP that he has not had any conversations with the league about expanding the length of the regular season, which increased to 17 games back in 2021. Expanding the season requires the 2 sides to renegotiate the current NFL collective bargaining agreement, which doesn't expire until March of 2031. But apparently those talks have not started at all. And Stream East, the world's largest illegal sports streaming platform, has been shut down after a year-long investigation. That's according to a leading United States-based anti-piracy organization. And of course, this comes just days before the NFL season starts. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, well, good for you. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
B. Mitch and Finley, 106.7 The Fan. Fired up now to get on the Rude Guest Hotline, RUUD. Rude makes the best, most reliable, comfortable heating and air conditioning equipment in the DMV. Our boy Neil Greenberg joins the program now. Sports writer, stats, evaluations, analysis, fantasy, gambling, all of it for the Washington Post. You can follow Neil at N Greenberg. Greenberg, what's up, dude? How are you?
I'm doing super duper. How are you?
Dude, do you ever, now, plead the fifth as necessary, do you ever venture onto these streaming platforms for your sports?
How do you mean?
What you talking about, Willis?
Well, this big one just got shut down, and I just don't think it's a coincidence
That the season is about to start.
that it got shut down.
Oh, no. I pay a boatload of money to see all these games.
To various services. So do I. So you and I are in the legal boatload
Gotta
of
pay
money.
for something eventually.
Yeah, and I honestly believe cutting the cord is more expensive now than it's ever been. And you're probably
And
better off
far
just getting
more
like
annoying.
one mega package. Because you're spending like $15 here, $10 here, $19 here. It's a lot.
Well, dude, and far more annoying. Changing from one streaming service to the
Oh,
next.
it's the worst.
Far more annoying.
Trying to find, I have an easier time finding True TV than I do trying to find these games where they're at.
Well, speaking of the games, dude, we've made it. We've made it through the desert. NFL Week 1 is here. We'll get to the Commanders. What are you most excited about? Like, what are some of the biggest questions you think? Now, you don't get any answers in Week 1. You got to really hesitate with the NFL to start drawing conclusions too early. But like, what are you most excited for this weekend?
I'm excited to see if the Chiefs still got it. I think that we're starting to get some, rumblings in our tummy that maybe there's going to be some turnover at the top, and they're obviously the creme de la creme in that regard. I'm curious to see which of these young quarterbacks take a step forward. I like Carolina for that because I think Bryce Young could take a step forward. So I'm interested in that. And then I am interested in what happens with the Cowboys after this tumultuous offseason. I want to see what happens. I personally think that Jerry Jones is more of an NFL guy than he is a Dallas Cowboys guy, and what I mean by that is I think he's more interested in the NFL being really big and making a lot of money. I think the Cowboys end of it is secondary. I'm just curious to see if this is the year where that really hurts the club. So I'm looking forward to that train wreck.
Biggest story in the NFL this year, you think?
Biggest story
that you're looking for this year? Yeah, the biggest story. Whether it's something that's in the beginning.
Commanders year two. Commanders year 2 under Dan Quinn. I think that has the chance to be one of the biggest stories in the NFL if they play really well. If they fizzle, I just think it's going to take a lot of air out of the tires. But I think if they come out swinging in week 1, then I think that they're going to be the story, especially if Jaden Daniels plays well. There'll be MVP talk. There'll be, can they make it to the championship game again? I just think there's a lot of upside with this Washington squad in terms of media coverage.
Dude, if Jaden plays well, I don't know that we've played this out. There's a tier of 4 quarterbacks that have established and separated themselves in the NFL. 3 of the 4 have won MVP awards. Another's gone to a Super Bowl, and Joe Burrow. Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar have separated from everyone. Jaden is next up. Like, if he forces his way into that conversation, which I legitimately think is highly possible, I mean, the sky is truly the absolute limit here. Like, people talk about the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs. The Bengals' defense is so bad that it kind of limits what they are. But I don't know, man. Like, obviously the Eagles are there, but the Eagles are there more of a 1-53 just dominance. It is remarkable to think about what the ceiling could be here for Jaden Daniels in year 2.
Yeah, I mean, especially if those other quarterbacks take even a minor step back, right? I mean, if there's any, I mean, Mahomes had a pretty shaky season. What was it, 2 years ago? Like, he wasn't looking like Mahomes until they started making that championship run. But yeah, I mean, it's no knock on Jaden to be one of the first ones outside that elite bubble, right? Like, there's no shame in that, especially in year 2. There's no shame in that being a veteran quarterback. There's no shame in that in year 2.
Yeah.
And again, I just think the media wants this to succeed because we love talking about heir apparents, right? Like, we love talking about teams that are taking the next step, teams that are comeback stories, right? Snyder era ushering into the new ownership with Peters and Quinn, et cetera. So I think that there's really a big chance for this Washington Commanders story to blow up.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, certainly. Talking with our friend Neil Greenberg here on the Rude Guest Hotline. You can give him a follow at @Greenberg. Let's get into some specific stuff. Tomorrow night is the opener, Eagles-Cowboys. You're welcome to come to MGM and hang out with me and B if you want, Neil.
Drinks on JP?
Sure. I will buy Greenberg a beer. What do you expect in that one? Like, there is a subplot here of everybody thinks Dallas is just cooked. And you mentioned, I agree with you. It's hard to look at the way Dallas operates and believe football is the priority for that organization, at least from the top levels. Obviously, players and coaches. Brian Schottenheimer's trying to win every game, but, like, ownership has too many irons and lots of fires for that to be the sole priority. What do you think of this game tomorrow night? I mean, the Eagles are going to be raising that banner. The Eagles are already pretty loaded. Like, it could be interesting.
That's a tricky one.
I mean, this should be a slaughter. Like, this should be a situation where Jalen Hurts asserts himself, doesn't really have much to worry about, in the defensive line because they lost their best player. Dallas remains to be seen what kind of offense they can put together. They got to play, like you said, in a tough situation on the road, raising the banner. Everyone's going to be pumped. I don't think Dallas is going to be competitive in this one. I could see it being pretty lopsided at the half, and I think This is another one of those games where we're not going to learn a lot in week one just because of how the NFL is, but Philadelphia really does have a chance to come out. And this is kind of like one of those games with Philadelphia where it's, if they win, okay, they were supposed to win, and if they lose, maybe they're not as good as everyone thought. Like, there's no middle area for them. But I do think that they take care of business.
But we've been around a long time now, and Neil, I'm going to say this. Normally in these ring ceremonies and all that type of stuff, the home squad doesn't normally play great. Because as much as we say that the people don't care about all the other stuff, you get caught up in the hoopla, and you forget about the damn game.
The Lions beat the Chiefs, what was that, 2 years ago now in the opener?
Yeah. But I think those are two very good teams. I think this is one very good team and one team that has a lot of question marks, lost its best defensive player, arguably the best player on the team, arguably one of the best players in the NFL. So I just think it's tough. It's going to be a tough matchup for Dallas. These division games do end up being wonky a lot of times. We've certainly seen that with Dallas and Washington in terms of one team supposed to, boat race the other one, and it doesn't happen. But I do think that this one should follow the script.
I tend to also, it looks like the weather should be pretty good in Philadelphia. Like, it doesn't look like there's an exterior factor that could enter.
What's the line?
It was
7.5, I think.
Wasn't it? Okay.
Maybe 8.5
Greenberg,
now.
I know you do your own power rankings, which I appreciate. Do you do them going into week one, or do you wait till you've seen a little bit?
No, I do them into week one. Why wait? I have the Eagles as 5.5 points per game better than the Cowboys. I have the Cowboys as -1. So my line would be 6.5 plus. My line would be 7. Philadelphia -7, 7.5. So what is it? -8.5.
This thing's an 8.5.
Yeah, but that's also mine were before the trade, so I can see why it moved a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair, because that trade doesn't only impact the actual on-field product, right? Like what happens Thursday night without Parsons. That's also got to give some pause around that locker room.
Pause around the locker room, and then even game plans going forward against them.
Right.
You worried about Parsons. Now he's not on the field.
You have to look around and say to yourself, are we really trying to put the best product on the field when we lost our best player? Like, that to me would be the biggest thing. It's going to be it's going to be felt, that's for sure. And if not, kudos to Dallas.
I agree with that. What other games this weekend? I want to get to what you think about Commanders-Giants, but what other games this weekend do you have your eye on? Do you think maybe you see some value?
I think the Browns taking the points against the Bengals is worthwhile. Joe Burrow doesn't really play well against Cleveland. And, I like Tennessee. I like the team total for Tennessee is 16.5, which I think is relatively low. I know they have to go into Denver, which is tough. I know that they have a rookie quarterback. But typically speaking, we should see like 19, 20 points or so from a team in that situation. So I like the over on Tennessee's team total. And then I also like Miami straight up against Indianapolis. I don't know how Daniel Jones at Indianapolis is favored over Miami. Maybe I might be proven wrong by the weekend, but I'm taking Miami straight up.
The rookie quarterbacks from last year, I think they fared well. Jaden was the best of them all. Now you get the guy back in Minnesota who's going to be probably starting this year. Where do you think they start ranking when you start looking at those historical quarterback drafts?
Well, I think this one could be. We could look back on this pretty fondly because of Jaden Daniels. Obviously, he certainly seems to be the top. I think we need like another year or two to figure it all out.
Okay.
But certainly, if we're talking about a league MVP caliber quarterback, from this situation. And then you have Caleb Williams. You talk about J.J. McCarthy. I think Michael Penix could take a little bit of a step forward. I don't think Bo Nix was as bad as everyone thinks, but we'll certainly see that as well. So I think what this draft had going for it was there were so many quarterbacks picked in the top 10 relative to other years, and then Bo Nix at 12. So I think if we get Jaden Daniels fulfill his trajectory where he's going, and then if a guy like Drake May takes a big step forward, which I think he can in New England, Caleb Williams gets a new coordinator, he starts doing stuff, we could start looking at this draft as one of the better ones.
What's a team that you think has high expectations around the league that you think will underperform?
Detroit.
Really?
I think Detroit's...
You think losing the coordinators?
Yeah, I think losing the coordinators is trouble. I think the harder schedule is a little bit of trouble. I just think that if we're looking for like letdown city, that's a team that really had a lot going on. They're going to be playing first week at Green Bay, which is tough normally, but I think Green Bay is one of the better teams. I want to say the executives just ranked them the second best team in the NFC behind Philadelphia. So that's, certainly no gimme for them. That's a tough game one. They lose that, we're already in the hole. And then, they get a interesting game against Chicago, against their old coordinator. That's certainly not a gimme. And then they got to play at Baltimore on Monday Night Football. Those are three tough games for Detroit coming out of the gate.
Right out the gate? Ooh.
And what's a team that's maybe underrated that you think will overperform?
New England. I've been on New England for a while this year. I think that they have the ingredients to take a step forward, especially with the young quarterback. Obviously, we saw in Washington what happens if you have a quarterback, go from average. You have a team in Washington below average quarterbacking. They get above average quarterbacking. It obviously makes a huge difference. So I think New England's one of those teams to watch as well.
All right, and then lastly, Greenberg, Commanders-Giants. The numbers, one of the bigger spreads this weekend. The Commanders are laying 6. I did see that dip to 5.5 for a brief moment. It looks like it's still 5.5 on FanDuel. What do you make of Washington and the Giants?
Yeah, there's really no difference between 5.5 and 6 because the most frequent margin of victories is 3 and 7. So if you like Washington, you probably want to, you'll take anything up to minus 6.5 and feel okay about it. I don't know if this Giants team is going to be very good. I'm expecting Washington to win. I don't know if they can win in a blowout necessarily, but I do think it's going to be a friendly crowd. To me, this is the game, and this is going to sound silly because it's a Week 1 game, but to me, this is the game that Dan Quinn really needs to go well because they got off such a high from last year, and if they lay an egg, I think that's the worst thing for the narrative. But, you come out solid, take care of the Giants, who you should probably beat anyway. Again, kind of one of these no middle games. If they win, they're supposed to win. If they lose, we have a lot of question marks about them, but I think that they'll be fine. I'm very interested to see how they use Deebo Samuels, though. I think that could be one of the most exciting parts of the game.
There you go.
Dude, I am too. All right, Neil, we appreciate the time as always.
Appreciate you, bro.
Okay, I like you guys very much.
We like you, too.
We like you, man.
We love you, Neil.
I love you guys, too. All right.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Goodbye, brother. That's our boy Neil Greenberg from the Washington Post. You can give him a follow at @ngreenberg. Joining us via the Rude Guest Hotline. We're going to run through the league, talk about some win totals all over the NFL, including your Washington Commanders. Nobody go anywhere.
Brian and JP here. If you want comfort and convenience wherever life takes you, then you need to turn to Rude. With Wi-Fi compatibility, you have full control of your heating and cooling system right from your phone. Forgot to turn down the heat before vacation? You can adjust it in seconds. Plus, you'll get alerts if something's not right. These guys are the best, and they've installed new systems in my house, and I felt the difference instantly.
Best part, Rude systems are whisper quiet. No more noisy interruptions, just peace of mind. The variable speed compressor ensures precise temperature and humidity control. Lets it operate efficiently, even in extreme conditions. I just got my Pepco bill, I guess, for August, right? Because now we're in September. Joint was lower than it was a year before. And it was plenty hot in August. And I think that's a direct result of getting new systems, getting Rude systems. They lower your costs, man, and your house is just perfectly comfortable. Another thing that can help, tax money. You can qualify for federal tax credits up to $2,000 on heat pumps through 2032. Check out rude.com/federal incentives to learn more.
Rude, the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. And remember, if it ain't rude,
It ain't right.
Sports Update is brought to you by Surfside Iced Teas and Lemonades with vodka. Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely is still recovering from a broken bone in his foot and is not expected to play in the team's opener against the Bills, per Ian Rappaport. Likely underwent surgery in late July and is healing as expected. His availability for Week 1 was always a possibility, but the Ravens are going to give him some additional recovery time and see if he's 100% for their next game against the Browns on September 14th. And one more injury update ahead of kickoff tomorrow. Cornerback Trayvon Diggs is expected to play Thursday night versus Philadelphia, per NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero. Diggs came off the PUP list on August 24th after undergoing knee surgery in December. Diggs has been a full participant in practice this week and is ready to go for tomorrow. Fall is here and football is back. Nothing goes better with game day than Surfside Iced Teas and Lemonades with vodka. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
Hey, B. Ohio State's defending national champion, right?
Yep.
Ohio State just beat Texas in the opener.
Yep.
Lou Holtz talking about Ryan Day and Ohio State. They're not a great football team. I would not be overwhelmed about facing Ohio State. I wrote him a congratulatory letter, but I never heard back.
That's called haterade. So that's probably why he didn't write you back, because you've been knocking him all the time.
I mean, like, are they great, all-time great? You think about that Georgia team, maybe 21 with the incredible defense. I think about 2019 LSU, some of those Bama teams that were incredible, Cam Newton at Auburn, like some of the incredible teams of my lifetime. I'm not sure they're there. FSU that beat Mike Vick in the title game. But Ohio State's pretty damn great right now.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to get to this. This is pretty interesting, B.
That's like somebody go on air and they just talk trash about you. Then they call you and say, hey, man, I just want to say congratulations. I'm probably going to just give you the cold shoulder, just tell you one finger salute. Keep moving. And Lou Holtz has been around a long time.
Yeah.
But Lou Holtz is all Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He don't give a lot of other people credit. So sometimes, look, dude, just because you're a little older don't mean you can't be told where to get the hell off the bus, too, now.
Right. He's 88.
Come on. Please. You can
say,
see, as people get older, they want to say slick stuff. Guess what? It can come right back at you now.
Sure.
You get respect until you don't give it.
Right. All right. NFL.com's Cynthia Freeland is the analytics expert for NFL.com. And she went through and took data from the past 12 NFL seasons to create kind of this historic reference for personnel schemes, matchups, all that stuff, to determine projected wins for their teams. Simulated 1 million different games, okay? I'm sorry, 1 million different runs of every game, which with these computer analytics we're talking almost 300 million simulations, all right? Based on this information, who do you think has the most wins in the NFC?
The total NFC, not just the East.
Yeah, total NFC.
Based off of
272 million game simulations.
This year.
Yeah.
They're probably going to tell you the Eagles.
They are going to tell you the Eagles.
Okay.
They've got the Eagles with 11.6 wins, which is right in line with Vegas.
What
Vegas
said.
has them at about 11.5.
Yeah.
Not to mention the Parsons trade probably tilts the NFC East more toward Philly or even Washington's favor.
Yeah, then they start making Green Bay jump up that ladder too.
So they got the Eagles tops in the NFC with 11.6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is number 2 in the whole NFC?
Green Bay.
Nope.
Not? I mean, the Commanders.
Burgundy and gold.
Yeah.
10.4 wins.
I just thought Micah would throw the what's called him up a little bit. And then also, when I was just listening to Neil, he said they had Green Bay as the second highest team in the Green Bay in the NFC East.
So, for these simulations, these analytics determine the Eagles' win ceiling is 13. So they could see the Eagles going as well as 13-4. Their floor is 10.4. So maybe they go 10-7.
Okay.
Washington's, I find this really interesting. The gap between the ceiling and the floor is significantly higher, but they have Washington's ceiling higher than Philly. 13.1 for Washington as the ceiling, 8.9 for the floor.
All right.
And with the win total being 10.4. Vegas has Washington at 9.5 for their team total. So if you buy these numbers, there's good money on the over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading now from NFL.com. You'll notice that Washington's ceiling is slightly higher than the Eagles. So my model sees a world in which the NFC East has a new champion for the 21st consecutive season. One reason my model likes the Commanders, it loves the Laramie Tunsil edition. Last season, the five-time Pro Bowler recorded an 8.3% pressure rate, which was tied for the 12th lowest among left tackles with at least 200 pass-blocking snaps per next-gen stats. I don't think we talk about Tunsil enough and what that should do for this offensive line. The big knock on Tunsil in Houston was the penalties. Do you think that's who he is, or do you think that's something that can change?
Yeah, he gets a lot of penalties. That could
A
change.
lot of false starts, a lot of holds.
That could change. That could change. Because what I learned about this team here, they run so many quick snaps there, but you don't give a dude a chance to jump. I don't do a lot of hard counts. So that could help him out. You know, if you got some of these plays like where they're so long and some guys get a little antsy, especially when you're the left tackle and you're going against the best athlete on the other team.
Sure.
So you're trying to jump it and catch and get a head
they're
start.
trying to time you up.
Yeah, so that could change.
Third on this list, Detroit at 10.1. Their ceiling is 12.8, floor 8.9. I think we have underrated Dan Campbell in the praise, particularly of Ben Johnson, but Aaron Glenn as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think both those assistants deserve head coaching opportunities, and they are both really good at what they do. Glenn is more that motivator guy.
Yeah.
Johnson more the schematic guy. But I think Campbell drives that bus in Detroit.
He does. I look at Aaron Glenn. You saw how many he lost a ton of people on the defense side of the ball, but he still had them there. Ben Johnson made some decisions in the game against us and other games to where I'm scratching my head still like, what the hell were you thinking? So I don't know if that loss is as big because you do have a veteran quarterback.
Right.
Who knows the system and can go run things. I don't know if Ben's is as big as losing AG, but I think Dan Campbell, everything came from him anyway. The meathead attitude seems like, but he has smart players. He has tough players. That attitude comes from Dan Campbell, not everybody else.
I think the biggest loss in Detroit is on the O-line. Ragnow retired. I think they have another guy hurt. If your O-line gets hurt, like I like Goff, but he's an on-schedule dude. 3 steps, go. 5 steps, go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Goff's he's tough. He'll stand in that pocket, take a lick, but like he's not a guy that's going to create a ton off schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And now you get Aiden Hutchinson back, I think will help a lot. You wonder if he's the same guy after the injury. That takes a little bit of time. I think the Lions' new OC is Johnny Morton. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Johnny Morton was here for a hot second. Didn't he? Wasn't he a kick returner here? Didn't they trade
I
for
thought
him?
that was Chad.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you're right. You're right. Johnny Morton was there with Ben Johnson, then left and is coming back. So it's not like you're changing the system. I think underrate the Lions at your own decision, but I do think the Packers are coming. I think adding Micah Parsons to that Packers defense, Jordan Love. I think that rookie receiver they drafted, Matthew Golden, is going to be really good.
Did you see that little thing that Armin sent the other day?
Yeah, the 27-year-old thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very.
How about this? So they go Eagles, Commanders, Lions, Packers, then the Bucks. People kind of sleep on the Bucks. Then the Niners. 9.6 wins for San Francisco, ceiling 12.9, floor 8.7. If the Niners were healthier, their projected win total would be higher. It's kind of that simple. There is one element they can lean on right now. George Kittle is good to go. That's huge, given that he trails only Brock Bowers in yards after the catch. They don't have healthy receivers out there.
Yeah, that's true. And Purdy without those healthy receivers is going to be a problem.
They lost Debo.
You can't go to your tight end every play.
And they don't have Debo. Who do you think – I don't think this one's that hard to figure out. Who do you think has the lowest projected win total in the NFC?
The Saints?
The Saints. Might be looking at the Aints again down in the Big Easy.
Get the paper bags out, baby.
Dude, they have the Giants at 5.7 wins. Ceiling is 8, floor is 4. It's going to be interesting for Big Blue. I think if the Giants are clearly not a playoff team, say we get to Thanksgiving and the Giants are 4-6, 5-7, you think Daboll makes the year?
No. Because I think if they start doing that, then the GM is going to completely jump ship on him and try to say it's his fault.
Self-preservation league.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Here's what I know. Football is finally here. And if you decide to get in on the action this season, you should. The American Gaming Association wants to remind listeners to have a game plan when it comes to betting. Don't chase the money, people. Bet with legal sports books only. Know the odds. Stick to a budget. And lastly, keep your cool. The result of a bet is never a reason to go online and start attacking coaches and players. Don't be that guy. It's lame behavior. Please go to haveagameplan.org to learn more. Brought to you by 1067 The Fan's proud responsible gaming partner, the American Gaming Association.
Football Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
So, B, I got all ears tonight, and I always do a mailbag segment where I just let folks ask questions, try to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
I just got one that I think is pretty interesting. This is from Real Telly. There's quite a battle about who the Real Telly is, but will the fan base crash out if Bill is inactive week 1? I'm asking you.
Will they? I mean, I don't know. Some may not, but the whole thing about it is he did have a black jersey on that practice, the end of the season, during preseason and all that. And my whole thing is the coaches decide what they think is going to work that week. I wouldn't care if they crash out. If he's not on the field, it's a reason.
I agree. We don't know, right? But I think it wouldn't shock me. I want to see the injury report today. Let's just see if he's on it. Let's start there. You know what I mean? Before we jump to too many conclusions. Let's just all take a break.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw this photo last night. Landville put it in the group thread. Nats have a game coming up here in, 45 minutes or whatever. I believe it was Spencer. Let me make sure. Yeah, Spencer Nussbaum covers the Nats for the Washington Post.
Mm-hmm.
Nice young man, good reporter. He tweeted out at 6:46. So first pitch is 6:45. This is not, you know how sometimes people could post a picture an hour before the game starts and it's empty and it's kind of unfair.
Mm-hmm.
This is first pitch, right? The picture he posted, look at this, B. Look how empty this joint is. Wow. I looked up the attendance, the reported attendance for this game last night. Now, granted, it's Nats, Marlins, two not very good teams. Nats ended up winning 5-2.
Yeah, I saw that.
12,000 people at that game.
How much does it hold?
50?
50? I don't know that thing holds
maybe
50.
38? I don't know. Nats Park.
I mean, how much they've been averaging so far this year? Ain't been that much.
No, it holds 41,000.
Okay, when have they hit 41,000? The World Series?
Yeah, I mean, they've had sellouts. I think anything around 20 is usually pretty good.
But so if they around 20s is good. Right now, you're talking about a team that's like 28, 29 under 500, playing against another team that's horrible at this time of the year on a Tuesday?
And school probably started back up.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect 19,000.
That just looks empty, though, man.
Yeah, it does. But let's think back a few years ago. If they didn't have other fans coming to FedEx at the time, how many people would have been in there?
Well, dude, I remember the year they won the World Series. Now, I might be wrong. Maybe I'll see him here in a little while, and he can correct me. But I feel like I remember a Barry Svrluga column. The year they won the World Series, they had a Labor Day weekend series against the Mets, and it was important, like for the NL East, for the playoff standings, and there was nobody there.
Yeah,
and I remember Barry wrote a column like, yo, this team's good. You got to go to these games.
Yeah, they were out of town. They had vacation. They would make sure that their kids get that last break before they go back to school.
White Brian, what are the Nats' average attendance? Like, how do they rank among MLB? They got a game today, B. Whatever it is, 12:30, 1 o'clock start. What do you think that crowd's going to look like today?
Gonna be good.
I mean, kids are back in school.
It's not gonna be good, dog. Let's not even fool ourselves.
The
weather's
Nats are
perfect, at least.
22nd in attendance.
Damn, who's last? The Rockies?
The A's. A's and Tampa both play in the minor league stadiums.
Are the A's playing in Sacramento?
Yeah.
And Tampa's playing in the Yankees, like, spring training joint, right?
Yep, they're the only two averaging under 10,000 a game.
So I think when the A's get to the new stadium in Vegas, I think they'll do well because I think the money in Vegas, like the people in Vegas, will support a team and buy season tickets and buy up the suites. And you got enough people vacationing in Vegas year round that these casinos will have free tickets they'll give away. And I think the Vegas A's will do pretty well attendance wise. Hopefully that owner sells them.
There'll be a lot of people from other
Right.
places watching those games. on a
Dude,
regular
when the Brewers have a 3-game series in Vegas, you don't think those people from Wisconsin are going out there to? I mean, I think the Vegas A's will do
basis.
well.
The people from Oakland gonna be going out there.
Right.
The people from LA gonna be going out there.
I am not so sure. That Tampa situation seems fairly untenable. Like, MLB wants to expand 2 more teams, right? And they talk about Charlotte or Nashville or Austin or Portland, whatever you're talking about. MLB is such a regional sport. You know what I mean? People watch their baseball team, but not like real baseball heads are watching Astros, Diamondbacks on a Wednesday. But like, I pay attention to the Nats and the Orioles, and that's about the list. And then I kind of keep an eye on MLB totality and then watch the playoffs. I think I'm probably a pretty average baseball fan. Like, MLB teams depend on their local gate more than any other sport, like people actually coming to the ballpark. That Tampa thing, Tampa's such a great city. Build them a dope stadium. What is the issue?
Crazy.
You know what I mean? I love Tampa. I love going down there. I love that area. I love the west coast of Florida. Get them a good stadium. I don't understand it. You know who might have an answer?
Who's that?
Barstool Nate joins us next.
Oh boy.
This sports update is brought to you by I-66 Express Lanes. If you are planning on using Stream East to watch games this season, number one, no judgment here. But number two, you are going to need a new plan. Stream East, the world's largest illegal sports streaming platform, has been shut down after a year-long investigation, according to a leading United States-based anti-piracy organization. Over in the NBA, Dallas Mavericks forward PJ Washington has agreed to a 4-year, $90 million contract extension with the franchise. Washington had 1 season left on his deal for $14.1 million, and now he's secured an extension that keeps him in Dallas through the 2029-2030 season. Washington's 4-year extension means the Mavericks have reached agreements with all key members of their roster eligible for new deals this offseason. That includes All-Star Kyrie Irving and center Daniel Gafford. So good for Dallas, right? It's not like their city lost any sports stars this year now. And if you have bets going on who's going to be the Super Bowl halftime performer, it's not going to be Taylor Swift. Roger Goodell was asked during an appearance on the Today Show whether the league would be interested in Swift being the halftime show. Naturally, he said yes. But when he was pressed on if there were any talks between the star and the league, Goodell remained pretty coy. He pointed out it's a decision between Jay-Z and Rock Nation, but he is nothing but a fan of Taylor Swift. What's the road to a reliable commute in Virginia? That's easy. The I-66 Express outside the Beltway is your answer you've been looking for. Get the inside track to express travel on I-66 outside the Beltway at ride66express.com. Guess less, know more. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
La May.
High noon in the District of Columbia.
You're
You're listening to B. Mitch and Finley on 106.7 The Fan. When you hear OAR on the program, it means we're welcoming our boy, Mr. Barstool Nate. Eric, I wonder if we need to switch you to Oasis as an intro, dude. You're an Oasis groupie these days.
Yeah, 3 shows this summer. The best rock and roll band to ever do it. How are you guys?
We are good, man. We are good. I saw. Did you finally get to play Portnoy in poker? Is that coming?
Thanks for following along, JP. No, that's tonight at 6 p.m. On the Barstool Gambling YouTube channels. I'm playing my boss, who's a bazillionaire, for $20K heads up, which the more I think about it is more one of the dumber decisions I've ever made in my life, but it should be good.
Didn't you do this before?
No, it's just been a long time in the making. We've been talking about it for the better part of 10 years.
With us.
Yeah, so that's
do you have to put up the $20,000?
I do.
If he don't, he's just taking out his check.
No, it's crazy. They don't like when you take out your own money at the bank. It's pretty bizarre. But yeah, I got my hands on my $20,000, and hopefully I beat Dave and I leave Foxwoods Hotel, Resort, and Casino $20,000 richer tonight.
Dude, you're right about the bank. They definitely get weird when you're like, "Hey, I'd like my money, please."
They don't give. I don't play that.
They looked at
what
me
like
like
for? Don't you ask me another question?
Right. All right. Football's here, dude. We made it. The United States of America has 2 seasons. People get caught up in summer, spring, fall, and winter. There is football season and not football season. Those are the 2 seasons that exist in the U.S.
Yeah, correct.
We've made it. We're at the finish line, or the starting line, I suppose. How excited are you? We'll get to the Commanders specifically, but just for football to be back.
It feels really good. I think we talked about this maybe last week or the week before. I just think the young quarterback class is very exciting. I think the older quarterback class, like the Mahomes, I'm going to throw maybe like Josh Allen in there. They're all really good. I think this is like the best quarterback play we've had in a very long time, and that matters so much to the overall product of the NFL because, as we know, and as we'll see with the Saints this year, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a team. Indianapolis deciding between just 2 absolute losers to be their quarterback, it's going to be a bloodbath in Indianapolis. So I'm glad we have one. If you're a team without one, you're screwed already. And like football's the best. It was a long summer because Washington, D.C. does not have a serious baseball team, so we had absolutely nothing to do besides, break down contract talks and stuff like that. So I'm very excited for the football season to officially start. Cannot wait.
What are you looking for with the Commanders and the NFL as a whole?
So let's get ahead of it now, and I'm sure this is something that you guys will continue to talk about through the season. Expectations in D.C. are weird right now because Jaden's rookie season, he goes to the NFC Championship game. We can't expect reasonably for that to happen every year. Like, that's just not an expectation we should have. So then the national media, and I know, Bemis, you hate that, but it's something that, we have to at least, admit exists. They're going to start using the word regression. Has this team regressed? And I think it's going to be the dumbest conversation that anybody has because you just cannot expect an NFL, which is just a nearly impossible league to have continued success in by design, unless you're, Tom Brady and the Patriots, which is a huge outlier. And I don't think this team's going to regress at all. It's just extremely difficult to go back to the NFC Championship game after you do it in your rookie season. I'm not saying that we won't. This team is better than last year's. This team is more, everybody has more experience. The secondary is much improved. I think at nearly every position, this team is better. So expectations are still playoffs. I think that is now the basement. We should make the playoffs with this team. Now, if we go on a 2 or 3 game losing streak, the national media is going to be insanely annoying, and that's what we're just going to have to ignore because this team is still coming into their own. We still have a young quarterback. We still have, just a bunch of depth spots where we need to be better. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be, just an extremely fun team to watch. We finally, last year and this year, have, we're watching development happen in front of our own eyes. So even if, there's a couple bumps in the road, I don't think it's anything to worry about.
Well, dude, I think that's one of the biggest points that, everybody who's become so obsessed with numbers and regression and all these things because people want to put, a label on everything. They went 12-5 last year. Mm-hmm. If they go 11-6, I don't consider that regression. If they lose in the divisional round,
play better opponents.
That's not regression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I think 10-7 is still fantastic. I think making the playoffs is still fantastic. I mean, you look at our, Zach Ertz is and John Bates. That's our tight end. We can improve there. There's a lot of depth missing on the defensive end side of the football on the defense. Who's our best edge rusher? The special teams didn't look great in the preseason. I'm not going to put a ton of stock into that, but certainly there's room for improvement there. So as great as this team is, there's still going to be some bumps, and that's fine because we're not quite there yet. I don't think, and I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of or worried about. It's just a typical building process of making a great football team, and we're extremely close to that.
Totally.
Talking with our friend Barstool Nate here on the Rude Guest Hotline. Rude makes the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. Yep. You can find all of Nate Dogg's work at Barstool Sports. I guess we can watch you tonight on the Barstool Gambling YouTube channel?
That's correct. $20K each, me and Dave. Winner takes all.
Damn, dude. I'll watch.
Where's your confidence level, Nate?
It's high. I have more experience, but, anybody can win in poker. The cards fall as they may. I'm not nervous. I just really want to win. It's just there's no nerves. I'm not shaking in my boots, but it's a long time in the making, this match, and losing would suck. That's the best way I could put it. It would really just freaking suck to lose.
Does it matter that, I don't know how to phrase this. Portnoy probably doesn't care too much about $20,000. That's probably what he puts on a random college football game.
20.
No,
you're wrong. Losing it to Nate.
You're wrong. That's not what he puts on one bet. That's about a quarter of what he puts on one bet. It's dust. It's nothing to him. So yes.
Do you think? But B's right. At the same time, he doesn't want to lose to you. So
Correct.
do you think? I'm guessing his game could be kind of unpredictable anyway. But do you expect him to play like loose or aggressive, or who the hell knows?
Yeah, I think he's going to be very aggressive. He's not going to, never mind losing the match to me, he's not going to want to lose like a single pot to me. And so I think he's going to ramp up the aggression. It's going to be difficult to play against for sure, and you just have to hope that he sets his own trap, right? Like, you have to hope that his aggression, recoils back into his face. And, and maybe makes it a little easier for me. That's my hope.
Yeah, so playing your boss, and does he talk trash? Well, I know he talks trash.
He
seemed like he
What are you gonna say back? I
I'll
mean, you
say
got to
some
forget
stuff
he's
I'm
your
gonna
boss.
regret.
You got to forget he's your boss in this game, bro. You can't let him just strong on you.
Right, yeah, I'm probably going to end up saying some stuff I'm going to regret, some stuff that I probably shouldn't say, and probably be a little bit awkward considering, contract negotiations are coming up soon. So, yeah, how could this possibly go wrong for me?
Oh, man.
Oh, you can't worry about that, bro.
Good luck.
Obviously, I would not want to be in no competition with mine because I'm not going back down.
No, I'm not going to. I mean, this is the felt, right? We're on the table. Work is work. This is war. There's no rules here, so hopefully he can separate the two.
Let's hope, dude. We'll be watching. We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
Specific to the Commanders, as we get ready here for football, who's a player you think will surpass expectations?
Can I quickly, I don't want to make this a thing, quickly say, B-Mitch, you went out on such a ledge yesterday by naming Jaden Daniels your X Factor for the Commanders this year. I got to applaud that.
No, going on there. He asked me what the X Factor was, and I told him who the X Factor is.
Not, B-Mitch, I'm being dead serious. Not many people have the grapefruits like you to go out on a ledge like that and be so bold to say Jaden Daniels is
No.
the X Factor for the Commanders.
We weren't trying to say who I thought was going to have a great year. He asked me who was an X Factor. I told him who I thought the X Factor, but then I followed that up. If you pay attention beyond just the tip of your nose and go a little farther, and I told him who I thought would be, and it'd be the offensive line.
I applaud
Did you not listen to that part?
Dude, hold on, Nate. If you're going to give B a hard time, at least he picked a player. Jeff, when asked for an X Factor, picked the entire offensive and defensive lines.
But there's X Factors, though. Jeff is right, though. Because if they don't work, then hell, nothing works.
No, I like that. Just picking 10 players as my X Factor. I'm going to take the entire defense.
All right, Hotshot. Who's your X Factor then?
It better be the deal of the night.
It's our corners. It's our secondary. I mean, honestly, I'm not thrilled with how our defense came together. I think the linebacker position is still a weak link. I don't think we really have an edge rusher that can change the game. But I mean, I like saying Marshawn and Mikey as the X factors. Corner is of the utmost importance. Just in general. Last year we made it to the NFC Championship game with guys like Mike Davis playing. Just guys that you didn't want out there. So yeah, our corner depth is quite weak, and so if Marshawn and Mikey can step up and kind of eliminate the need to go deep into the depth chart at the corner position, I think that is wildly, wildly important.
I agree with that. Who's a player you're worried about that you're just not sure it's going to go the way so many are expecting?
Gosh. Well, I don't think anybody's expecting much out of Von Miller, so I don't even think that's a good answer. But I could look at, Bobby Wagner. He just has to play at a high level, at middle linebacker. We can't have any regression out of him. I don't even know who's behind him, like Jordan McGee. Frankie Louvu as well. There's just the depth at linebacker is not something to write home about. So I think there's just a lot of pressure on Louvu and Wagner to truly just like if they can just keep their game where it was last season. And I know that's a big ask for a couple older linebackers, but we definitely need just big games out of them and not any regression.
So you sound like me and Jeff picking more than one person.
Yeah, really. For all the grief you give.
You just went through Mikey, the linebacking crew, everything, the backup. You name the whole damn defense.
I'm just putting in some analysis that you can only get here on 106.7 The Fan.
Boy.
I planted a flag earlier, and I'm not going to back off this, Nate. A lot of people, I think, are kind of like, oh, if this guy gets hurt or if these guys don't work, and they see kind of the downside, but they won't go out and say it. I think this team's going to be really good. I think Jaden Daniels is a total organization changer. And I think with that and with the offense now, Noah Brown was hurt. Terry had the contract thing. All those dudes are practicing now. Like, offensively, they should be what they wanted to be. You add Jalen Lane, we'll see what he can do. But I think going into week one, like, there's nothing but excitement for this team. And I think some Commanders fans, some burgundy and gold people are just having a tough time being in this end of the pool where it's like, nah, man, this team is good, and they're expected to compete at a really high level, and that is the new normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's any way else to look at it. Week one against the Giants, it's not a pick 'em. It's not I hope we get our week one win. We should destroy the Giants, right? It shouldn't be a question. And I actually don't think the Giants are that bad. Like, I think they've continued to build this team in like a pretty interesting way. I don't think Russ is a bad quarterback. So I do think week one will be a bit more of a challenge than people want to give the Giants credit for. But at the same time, we should win by 2 touchdowns, right? Like, we have Jaden, they don't. We have Terry, they don't. It's just stuff like that. And you're right about Jaden. It's kind of like a Mahomes thing to me right now. And it might be a little early to say that, but it's one of the, every year on Twitter, it's like, why did I bet against Mahomes? How dumb am I to bet against Mahomes? I think Jaden is approaching that level where it's like Jaden wins games by himself. The team around him is important, but Jaden is different where he is worth a touchdown on his own every single game with just how good he is. So, and I'm not positive we're exactly there yet, but we might be. We very well might be there where any hesitation you have about Jaden just gets thrown out the window. It's like, okay, he is the guy. He is not just like our guy, the NFL's guy. And I think he could take that leap as early as like the first half of this season. That's how much just how good I think he is.
He's good, brother.
I'm there with you. All right, so Nate Dogg, our guy Jeff, Jeff Walker, works hard, does a really good job for us. Jeff is fired up about the Commanders. I think he's also a little nervous. He's among the fan base that can't wait but also is nervous. Jeff and our video producer, White Brian, have a bet. White Brian is a Giants fan because apparently in November of 2007 he lived in New Jersey.
Sure.
And so White Brian's a Giant fan. Jeff is a burgundy and gold fan. They have a bet for this game. Whichever team loses, by however many points that team loses, the other person has to wear the other team's jersey and eat that many hot dogs. So if the Skins win by 6, White Brian has to wear Jeff's Commanders jersey and eat 6 hot dogs. What is, during our show on Monday, what is your prediction for the Jeff White Brian hot dog bet?
White Brian. I think he better get.
Yeah, but if it's 24-14, it got me, Landfill, JP, Jeff. I think we're going to want a couple of them.
Yeah, I want like 1 or 2 hot dogs. I don't want the score amount of hot dogs. Because
that's why you're not
right,
in the bet,
Nate.
JP. That's why you're not in the bet.
Sure. But Jeff, I don't think you want. Right, but this is very one-sided to White Brian. I'm here for it. I want to see that kid eat 9 hot dogs. What is your prediction?
You're 30.
You got 10 hot dogs, Nate?
Yeah, I think White Brian's going to be eating 10 hot dogs.
He went from concussed to a serious stomach ache.
Yeah.
All right, Nate Dogg. Thank you, buddy.
All right, I mean,
good luck tonight, man.
He ate the ocean floor.
Hey,
He may as well eat.
I appreciate you
eat hot
guys.
dogs.
And barbecue will be on the way when I make 20K tonight.
What do you say
Why
to
we
a
have to
poker
wait
player?
for you to win it? If you just send it to us, you got it.
Like, break a leg? Hope the cards go your way? Is there a phrase for poker?
Win one for the kipper.
Maybe just good luck. Yeah, good luck. Works.
Good luck it is.
All right, brother.
Good luck, dude. All right, see you,
All
buddy.
right, brother.
Barstool Nate playing Dave Portnoy in a $20,000 poker match tonight. That's serious bread
Yeah.
right there.
How about me and Jeff going to play next week?
Yeah, I'm in on that too. And Jeff wants to pay in hot dogs. Nobody go anywhere. You're listening to B. Mitch and Finley on 106.7 The Fan.
Hey, it's Brian Mitchell here. FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style. FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here, and the only question there is are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Brian to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 106.7 The Fan. You have to be 21 years old and present in Virginia. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This sports update is brought to you by the Reynolds and Power Home Team, Keller Williams Realty. Just days before the Jets season opener, the team's been dealt a debilitating blow. Elijah Vera Tucker, the Jets' starting right guard, has reportedly suffered a significant arm injury and is facing the possibility of undergoing surgery that could end his season before it even begins. Now, he is going to get a second opinion, but not good for the Jets. And 1:05 p.m. right here on The Fan, you can listen live as Mitchell Parker takes the mound for Washington against the Marlins. The Nats are going for their first series sweep since May. Now, Yuri Perez is on the mound for the Fish, and his last outing was bad. Like 2 outs recorded, he gets pulled in the first inning after giving up 5 runs bad. We'll see if James Wood is able to do some damage early coming off that home run from last night. Do you want to hear the fastest way to know what your home would sell for? Reach out to the Empower Home Team. Simply text your address to 800-763-3000. No phone call, just text your address to 800-763-3000. That's 800-763-3000. From the Crop MedCap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on The Fan.
What we got?
Oh. One thing, not that I forgot, but I hadn't thought of for this weekend. Tana. Tana's Ring of Fame game.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
Tana's Ring of Fame game is going to be spectacular.
That should
The
be really
festivities, I think, start Friday.
Well,
Saturday night. It's going to be fun.
Well, and they're trying to do, I imagine the team has kind of announced this. Let me look this up real quick. They're trying to make, when's the last time you covered a game in Minnesota?
When we were there for the Super Bowl.
Okay, so the Vikings, it kind of all worked out. The Vikings have embraced the skull stuff. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings now have this crazy, pregame show, if you will. Before the game starts, probably 15, 20 minutes before the game starts, the Vikings do all this crazy, there's all this action on the field. It's not just people warming up and then they sing the anthem, right? And I think the Commanders eventually want to get towards something like that, which I think could be really cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And try to get people in there early. Because one of the tough parts, and this isn't just at Washington, this is across the league, is a lot of times early in games, people are just not there yet. You're chugging beer in the parking lot or you get held up going through security, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think for a game like this, for week 1, get in there, man. Be ready to go.
Yeah, but Tana's thing is at halftime.
Tana's thing's at halftime, yeah.
Yeah.
And that should be really, really cool. Do you know where he's going? I'm sure we'll see, the covered up thing.
I don't know. I don't have a clue. Nobody knew where he was going. I don't think he even knew.
When you get in there, do you ever look at your name up there?
I've seen it. I looked up and I've had other people go to the games and I told me, I said, what you? I said, I used to play with the team. Then they go and say, oh man, you really were good. I see your name up in the thing, but they didn't believe me before that. So,
that's funny. They should believe you. I think with Sunday's game is going to be just so much fun to be back out there. I think I'm going to get there early, dude, just because I think traffic and parking lots, I think everything's going to be jammed.
Yeah, S show.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah.
We're going to get to see them practice here. The Commanders are on the practice field in about...
You're going to get to see them stretch.
Stretch maybe a little bit of individuals. How much? So stretching is 10 minutes. So they do that little bit of individuals before, but now we're even to the point we don't get to just go down there. We have to be escorted down.
Yeah.
And then we get escorted back up.
Yeah.
So say stretching is 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
How much do we see beyond 10 minutes?
I'll give you 4.5.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
You have to watch a little bit of individuals. What, if anything, are you most interested in coming out of today's practice?
Just the comfortability of what they have going on and what they're establishing. A game plan. I know we've talked a lot about the defensive line of the Giants, how they're going to attack that. What's their running game against it? Is this since we were talking with Pat Leonard the other day, what did Pat say? You got your boy, what's the man from Penn State?
Theo Johnson.
Not Theo. The new pass rusher.
Abdul Carter.
Run right at him. The young man, Thibodeau. Run right at him. That's the way you eliminate pass rushers. You make them play the physical game. They want to be the guy who could just use his athleticism and get around the tackle. No. Make him have to take some helmets in his damn chest.
Brian Daboll, speaking now with the New York media, says Theo Johnson, who hasn't been practicing, is out there for week 1. Said the same thing of Andrew Thomas. Dan Quinn says Brandon Coleman and Terry McLaurin, the Commanders' projected starting receiver and left guard, will get their full normal amount of practice. Everybody's going to be ready. It's week 1. Nats baseball coming your way next. Thanks to everybody that listened to the show today. Thank you to Neil Greenberg. Thank you to Barstool Nate. Good luck to Nate Dogg tonight. Win that cash,
Win
baby.
that cash, homie.
Here come the Nats. You made it this far. I owe you a beer.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by